Americans are struggling, and it's time to talk about $2,000 worth of stimulus checks.
One of the first things that I want to do when our new senators are seated is deliver the $2,000 checks to the American families.
How we got to the level of $2,000, we all know how we got to that level. The President of the United States said that's the level he supported.
And I think this is why the supermajority of Americans actually support monthly 2,000 checks that would lift and help millions out of poverty.
$2,000 worth of stimulus check is finally back, and this is a hot topic right now as stimulus check update. $2,000 worth of payments are proposed by a congressman. Well, a number of people are already struggling, and why? Look at this. What is a government shutdown? Here's how it will impact most Americans. Americans will struggle because of this shutdown, and it doesn't stop here. As US edges closer to stagflation, economists blames Trump policies. Well, a stimulus check is the answer of all of these troubles that Americans are facing right now. This is what a number of lawmakers, senators, analysts, and experts are saying right now. I'm gonna give you each and every detail, but all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's begin. So let's start with the biggest question: why there is a need of $2,000 worth of stimulus check, and why a congressman proposed this $2,000 worth of payments, especially when everyone is saying that inflation is coming down and Americans are living great life right now when it comes to their daily finances. Well, look at this. As US edges closer to stagflation, economists blame Trump policies. Recent data shows stagflation, stagnant growth, and price inflation is possible as economies shaken by uncertainty, and we all need to understand that though the inflation report showed that inflation is going up almost double than the last year in the month of July, and economists were worried about it, but now there's a shutdown in place, and Americans are asking why we need to suffer, why we are going to suffer in this inflation, why this administration, especially President Donald J. Trump, is not talking about giving another stimulus payment to Americans, because according to President Donald J. Trump, the last administration left a mess for this administration and especially for American people.
I mean, there's a concept of making you could call it a dividend, as we would say, making a dividend to the people in this country who have had to suffer through stupid leadership, and they paid a lot of taxes and they got nothing for it. Now, there's a possibility. Primarily, we want to pay down debt, but there's a possibility that we take a piece of it and pay some.
If you remember, a few weeks ago, President Donald J. Trump introduced, or you can say announced, the possibility of a new stimulus payment, or you can call it tariff rebate checks for millions of Americans. Josh Hawley, with the approval of President Donald J. Trump, introduced this American Worker Rebate Act, which is calling for $600 for every adult, $600 for every dependent, and $1,200 for a couple. And it doesn't stop here, a maximum of $2,400 for a family of 4. But what happened to that bill? Well, to be honest, nothing, as Bernie Moreno in an interview said that we'll never let this bill pass and it will be devastating for American economy.
So Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill to provide tariff rebates for families who...
We're going to pay down their debt. No,
So
we're going to pay down their debt. We have $37 trillion debt.
What do you think a Republican then would introduce this kind
Because you're talking about it.
I mean, oh yeah, okay.
That's it. We'll never pass. We have a $37 trillion debt.
So as you can see that Bernie Moreno rejected the proposal from Josh Hawley, and he said that it will never pass. We have $37 trillion worth of debt, and we're going to pay this with the money that we are receiving because of these reciprocal tariffs that President Donald J. Trump placed on almost every country in the world. But one thing is very important, as a number of analysts and experts are asking, that Are we going to receive that much money that will be able to pay down this $37 trillion worth of debt? And what about the claim that President Donald J. Trump himself made that the previous administration left a mess for this administration, especially for American people, and now it's time for us to give some sort of relief to Americans who are struggling right now, especially to low and middle income Americans? Well, to be honest, nothing happened, but there is a hope, and we are talking about this as stimulus check update. A $2,000 worth of payments are proposed by a congressman, and it just got proposed on October the 3rd, means yesterday. And this is huge. Look at this. Representative Ro Khanna, a California Democrat, is proposing a $2,000 worth of payments to Americans making under $100,000, meaning for low and middle income Americans, arguing that the move would offset some of the President Donald J. Trump's tariff, which he says have jacked up the prices. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this $2,000 worth of stimulus check that has been proposed from this congressman? And if you support this $2,000 worth of stimulus check, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus check. Again, if you support it, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus check, because remember, if you don't do anything, then nothing will happen. Well, look at this. Trump's blanket tariffs are hurting American families, adding, I'm looking at how we can provide stimulus checks to working class Americans based on the unfair tax collected on them. Right now, low-income Americans are struggling, and especially those who receive food stamp benefits, because now there's an 80-hour work rule, which is a devastating decision or a devastating move from this administration, because if you work 80 hours a month, you're out of that 130% threshold. You're not gonna receive food stamps. But if you don't work, you're not qualified for food stamp benefits. It's a chaos right now. Nobody knows what's happening. And when it comes to seniors, they're already struggling. Their benefits are not parallel to the current inflation, and the increase that they are expected to receive is just 2.7%, only $54. And Medicare Part B premium will eliminate this increase. A number of questions are here. A number of analysts and experts are confused at what's going on. And on top of it, now there's a shutdown in place and nobody knows what's gonna happen. And that's where there's a hope. There's a hope that a $2,000 stimulus check will provide some sort of relief to millions of Americans who are struggling, especially to low and middle class Americans. People are unable to pay their rent. People are unable to afford groceries because, according to the recent report from Gallup, the prices of groceries are up by 21% in the past 3 years. The rent prices are increased by 28% in the past 3 years. So what is left? Well, the only hope that these people have is some sort of relief from this administration, and that's why a $2,000 stimulus check is a solution, is an answer to this devastation which is going right now, according to a number of analysts and experts. By the way, again, I would like to ask you the same question. If you support this $2,000 worth of stimulus check, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus checks. Remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. If you appreciate our content, don't forget to smash the like button on this video, as it helps this video and the channel as well. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon, because we upload videos for you every single day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.